Student, I am Sangeeta Mansukhani and this is the video number 38, and in this video I am going to tell you about chapter number 1, some basic concept of chemistry, and this chapter of part 1. So in this chapter I will be explain matter, then classification, what is the chemistry, then matter completely classification, then study of the atoms. Okay, so let us start. First we have to know about chemistry. You know about what is the chemistry, study of chemistry, but you know chemistry? Chemistry is the science of the chemical elements and the compounds and how these work together. Okay, chemistry is the science of the chemical elements and the compounds and how these work together. And it is the study of the material that make up our bodies and everything around us. Okay, so chemistry is the science of the chemical elements, compounds and how these work together. So study of the materials that make up our body and everything around us. Okay, clear? So chemistry is the science of the chemical elements and compound and how these work together. Clear? So it is necessary to study of chemistry. Okay, clear? Then matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Like this is the pencil, right? And pencil cover the space and its mass. See. Okay. So this is anything that has mass. So pencil has mass and then occupies space of the page. Okay. So this way occupy space. Okay. So anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Clear? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter, and matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Clear? Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can change its form. So thus total quantity of matter of the universe is constant. Clear? So matter can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can change its form. So total quantity of matter of the universe is constant. Clear? Then matter can exist in three physical states. Matter, three physical states. First solid, second one liquid, and third gases. Okay. So the states of the matter differ from each other in the following aspects. So which is the states of the matters differ from each other? So first is solid. Solid have definite volume and definite shape. Liquid have definite volume but not definite shape, and gases have neither definite volume nor definite shape. Clear concept? Okay, I explain by example. See, here you see clear? Here you see solid have definite shape and volume. Reason, because here you see particles joined together tightly, closed each together. Okay, and intermolecular force joint. Okay, no space between them. But in liquid have definite volume but not a definite shape, because this is the reason, because particles away from each together. Okay, but less space comparison than gas, because gases particles move away, okay, from each together, so more space between the particles. So gases have neither definite volume and no definite shape. Okay, clear? So solid have definite volume and definite shape, liquids have definite volume and not definite shape, and gases have neither definite volume nor definite shape. Okay, clear? Like this is the pencil, and pencil have definite volume and definite shape. Liquid, water you take, like 1 glass of water. Okay, so water you take 10 ml water, otherwise 100 ml water you take into the glass, and then this 100 ml of water transfer into the bowl. So volume is fixed, 100 ml and 100 ml. Okay, so definite mole volume, but not definite shape, because first we have to put into the glass, so that is means it's cover the glass shape, and then whenever put into the bowl, so it's cover the bowl shape. Okay, so liquids have definite volume but not definite shape. Then next, gases have neither definite volume nor definite shape. So you already known about in atmosphere so many gases. Okay, so neither definite shape and nor volume. So these three states of matter can be interconverted by changing the conditions of the temperature and pressures. So the following terms are associated with the changes from one state to other. See, two types of process states, endothermic states and the exothermic states. Okay, solid convert into the liquid. Okay, so melting or fusion process by absorbing the energy. Liquid convert into the gas by process evaporations or vaporization, so energy absorbed. And then gas convert into the solid, so process is sublimation, so energy absorbed. Okay, so solid convert into the liquid, liquid convert into the gas. Solid convert into the liquid by melting or fusion, and liquid convert into the gas by process evaporation or vaporization, and solid convert into the gas by process sublimation. Okay, so these three states, okay, solid, liquids and gas, but by endothermic state changes these processes are used. Okay, so solid convert into the liquid by melting or fusion, liquid convert into the gas by evaporation or vaporization, and solid convert into the gas sublimation. Okay, reverse process you have to see. When gas convert into the liquid, so liquefaction or condensation, so in this process energy release. Okay, so energy release, that is means those process is known as exothermic. Energy absorbed, that is means endothermic state. Okay, so gas convert into the liquid, so liquefaction or condensation. Liquid convert into the solid by freezing or crystallization, and then gas convert into the solid, condensation or deposition. Clear? So in this process energy release, removal, so exothermic state changes. Then after the chemical classification of matter. Okay, the chemical classification of matter is based upon its chemical composition. Okay, at the macroscopic or bulk level, matter can be categorized as mixtures or pure substances. Clear? So this is the chemical classification of matter. Above this is the classification, physical classification. Okay, physical classification of matter into solid, liquid and gas. But further, chemical classification of matter divided into two categories, mixture and pure substance. Okay, and this chemical classification of matter is based upon its composition. Okay, so chemical classification of matter. Chemical classification of matter, see, there are two types of category, mixtures and then pure substance. Mixtures and pure substance. What is a mixture? Constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter. Okay, constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter, so known as mixture. And pure substance consists of the single types of particles. So when matter form consists of single type of particles, so known as pure substance, and when matter constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter, so known as mixture. Okay, clear? So mixture further divided into two types of category, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Mixture, again I say, constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter. Clear? Mixture divided into two categories, homogeneous mixtures and then heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, that is means components are completely mixed with each other and composition remains same throughout, like plasma. Okay, like so example I have to say homogeneous mixture, like sugar into the water. Okay, so sugar into the water, so sugar completely dissolve in water. So sugar completely dissolve in water, that is means it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so components are completely mixed with each other and composition remains same throughout, so it is known as homogeneous mixture. Here given example plasma, because it is related example of our body parts. Okay, then mixture. Second category is heterogeneous mixture. Okay, heterogeneous mixture, that is means composition does not remain uniform and components are in two or more phases, like example blood. Okay, and general life example like chalk powder in water. Whenever chalk powder is put into the water, so chalk powder particles we have to see. Okay, so composition does not remain uniform. Clear? And then components are in two or more phases, so it is known as heterogeneous mixture. And body parts example is blood. Okay, so mixture are constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter. So there are two categories, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so homogeneous components are completely mixed with each other and then composition remains same throughout, so example plasma. And then second one, heterogeneous mixture, composition does not remain uniform and components are in two or more phases, example blood. Then second one, pure substance. Pure substances consist of the single types of particles. Types of particles, so divided into two categories, elements and compounds. Okay, so elements and compounds. So elements, that is means consist of only one type of particles, like example metal like iron. Okay, again I say pure substance consist of the single type of particles known as pure substance. First, element category, so consist of only one type of particles, example iron. And then second one is compounds, consist of the two or more atoms of different elements, like water and then carbon dioxide. So two or more atom here, like see in this water, hydrogen and oxygen, two element, and then carbon dioxide, CO2, carbon and oxygen, two elements. Okay, so compounds consist of the two or more atoms of different elements known as compounds. So example water and then CO2. Then again elements further divided into three categories, metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metals, non-metals and metalloids. So elements further divided into three categories, metals, non-metals and metalloids. What is the difference between metal, non-metal and metalloids? So see, metals solid, metals have hard, metals have conductors, metals bright luster, metals malleable and metals ductile. Okay, these are properties of the metals. Again I say, metals are solids, hard, conductors and bright luster and malleable and ductile. Okay. Then second one, non-metals. Non-metals is poor conductors. That is means not a electricity represented by non-metals. So non-lustrous and then brittle. Okay. So poor conductors, brittle and then non-lustrous. Third one is metalloids. Metalloids have characteristics common to both metals and non-metals. Okay, so have characteristics common to both metals and non-metals. So elements divided into three categories, metals, non-metals and metalloids. Then compound. Compounds consist of the two or more atoms of different elements, water and then CO2. So compounds again further divided into two categories, organic and inorganic. Okay, organic obtained from living sources. Okay, organic compound obtained from living sources, like example hydrocarbon. And then second one, inorganic. Inorganic obtained from non-living sources. Okay, organic obtained from living sources, and then inorganic obtained from non-living sources. So organic living sources, like example hydrocarbon, and then inorganic obtained from non-living sources. So example compounds of metal and non-metal, like NaOH and CaCO3. Compounds of metals and non-metals, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, and then calcium carbonate. Okay. So chemical classification of matter. So chemical classification, matter divided into two categories: mixture and then pure substance. Mixture constituted by more than one kind of pure form of matter, and then second one, pure substance, consists of the single types of particles. Mixture divided into two categories: homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous, that is means components are completely mixed with each other and then composition remains same throughout. Example plasma. Then second one, heterogeneous mixture. So composition does not remain uniform and components are in two or more phases. Example blood. Here pure substance consists of the single types of particles, and here divided into two categories: elements and compounds. Elements consist of only one type of particles, example iron, and compound consist of the two or more atoms of different elements, water and CO2. Elements divided into three parts: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Metals are solids, hard, conductors, bright luster, malleable and ductile. Non-metals, poor conductors, brittle and non-lustrous. Metalloids have characteristics common to both metal and non-metal. Then compounds. Compounds consist of two or more atoms of different elements like water and then CO2, and it is also divided into two categories: organic and inorganic. Organic obtained from living sources, example hydrocarbon, but inorganic obtained from non-living sources, like example compounds of the metals and non-metals like NaOH and CaCO3. Okay. Next topic is laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination is divided into five parts. First law is chemical combination, that is means reaction between the reactant and formation product, but according to the law. So that is rule is laws of chemical combination. First law is law of conservation of mass. Okay. First law is law of conservation of the mass. So this law was first established by French chemist Lavoisier. Okay, the law was first established by French chemist Lavoisier, and this law states, okay, law of conservation of mass established by French chemist Lavoisier, and this law states, in all chemical changes the total mass of the system remains constant. All chemical changes, the total mass of the system remain constant. Otherwise, in other language, in a chemical change, mass is neither created nor destroyed. Okay, mass is neither created nor destroyed. This law was verified by Landolt. Okay, so first established by Lavoisier and verified by Landolt. Okay, according to this, in a chemical change, mass is neither created nor destroyed. So, see example, N2 plus 3H2 convert into the 2NH3. So, here you see atomic mass of nitrogen nitrogen 14. Okay, so here N2, so 14 multiplied 2, so 28 gram, and hydrogen 1, so here 3 to just 6, so 6 gram. Then in product side you have to see nitrogen 14 plus hydrogen 3, so 14 plus 3 17, and multiply 2 into 17 34, and here you also see 28 plus 6, 34. So both sides, reactant and product, both sides 34 gram. So mass of reactants is equal to mass of products. Okay. So, law of conservation of mass, first stabilized by French chemist Lavoisier, then verified by Landolt, and this law states in all chemical changes the total mass of the system remains constant. Otherwise, we have to say in a chemical change, mass is neither created nor destroyed. Okay, so mass of reactant and is equal to mass of product. Second chemical combination law. Second law of definite proportion. First law of conservation of mass and second law of definite proportion. Okay, so law of definite proportion, it is proposed by, this law was proposed by Proust. Okay, law of definite proportion, and this law was proposed by Proust. Law of definite proportion. This law was proposed by Proust, and this law states elements always combine in fixed ratio of their weights. Okay, elements always combine in fixed ratio of their weights. Like example, water, H2O, pure water, and pure water always contain 1:8 ratio. Okay, like hydrogen 1:, see, 1 and 2 multiply 2, so 2 ratio, oxygen 16, so 1:8. So this law was proposed by Proust, and this law states elements always combine in fixed ratio of their weights. And other definition we have to say, a pure chemical compound contains the same elements in a fixed proportion of their weights regardless of the mode of preparation. So example, pure water, so 2:16, so fraction 1:8. So always contain 1:8 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen by weight. Okay. So third law of chemical combination, law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion, this law was established by Dalton. Okay. This law was established by Dalton, and it states, if two elements form two or more than two compounds, then the masses of one of the element which combined with a fixed mass of the others. So Beer says simple whole number ratio. Okay, so Dalton established this law, and it states if two elements form two or more than two compounds, so then the masses of the one element which combine with a fixed mass of the other. So Beer says simple whole number ratio. Example, like weight of the oxygen that combine with the 12 gram of carbon. Here you see CO, carbon monoxide. So here oxygen weight combine with 12 gram of carbon. Okay, and CO2 also. Okay, R. So in the ratio of the 1:2, that is means 12 gram of carbon here also and 12 gram carbon also. But here you see one oxygen, okay, combined with one carbon, and here two oxygen combined with carbon. So carbon ratio equal 1, but here 1 oxygen and here 2, so 1:2. Okay, so weight of the oxygen that combined with 12 gram of carbon, so are in the ratio of 1:2. In CO 1 and then carbon dioxide 2, so 1:2. Okay, so law of multiple proportion, if two elements form two or more than compound, like carbon and oxygen form two or more than compound, like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, so then the masses of the one element which combine with a fixed mass of the other. So simple whole number of ratio. Okay. Fourth law is law of reciprocal proportion. Okay, so the law of reciprocal proportion. Law of reciprocal proportion. See, this law was given by Richter. Okay, Richter, and also you say T because silent way is Richter also. So this law was given by Richter, and this law states the ratio of the masses of the two elements A and B which combine separately with a fixed mass of the third element C is either the same or some simple multiple of the proportion of the masses in which A and B combine directly with each other. Here you like see example, hydrogen, oxygen and carbon. Hydrogen and oxygen combine and then water is formed. Carbon and hydrogen combine, so methane are formed, and then carbon and oxygen combine, so CO2 form. So this law was given by Richter, and this law states the ratio of the mass of the two elements like A and B, H and O, which combine separately with a fixed mass of the third element. Here you see oxygen combined with hydrogen, so water is formed. So fixed mass with hydrogen, and here oxygen combined with carbon, so CO2 form. So fixed mass of the third element C is either the same or some simple multiple of the proportion of the masses in which A and B combine directly with each other. So this law of reciprocal proportion. Okay. So for example, carbon and hydrogen, see carbon and hydrogen combine with oxygen separately to form two oxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide and water. In CO2, 12 gram of carbon combined with 32 gram of oxygen. Okay, and in water, 2 gram of hydrogen combined with 16 gram of oxygen. So 12 gram of carbon and 4 gram of hydrogen combined with a definite weight of the 32 gram of the oxygen. Okay, so carbon and hydrogen combined with each other, they must have a ratio 12:4. Okay, clear? So different ratio, but here combine and third mass is similar from a with a fixed mass of the third element C. Clear? Then next law is Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volume. Okay, so Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volume, this law was proposed by Gay-Lussac in 1808 and it is applicable only for gases. Okay, Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volume, this was proposed by Gay-Lussac in 1808 and is applicable only for gases. Okay, this law states when gases react together, they do so in simple ratio of volume to one another and to volume of products. Okay, so when gases react together, so they do so in simple ratio of volume to one another and to volume of product. If these are also gases, all volume being measured under similar condition of temperature and pressure. So this law is not accurate as gases deviate from ideal behavior. Okay, so this Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volume, so proposed by Gay-Lussac in 1808 and applicable only for gases. According to this law, whenever gases react, so react in simple ratio of volume to one another and to volume of product. So if these are also gases, all volumes being measured under similar condition of temperature and pressure. And this law is not accurate as gases deviate from ideal behavior. Okay, so 5 law of chemical combination. First, law of conservation of mass. Then second law of definite proportion. Third law of multiple proportion. Fourth of law of reciprocal proportion. Fifth law of Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volume. So these law of chemical combination, law of conservation of mass, law of definite proportion, law of multiple proportion, law of reciprocal proportion, and then Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volume. Okay, so we have to see example first. Carbon and oxygen are known to form two compounds. Clear? The carbon content in one of these compounds is 42.9%, while in another it is 27.3%. Show that this data is in the arrangement with the law of multiple proportion. Okay, so which law? Here given multiple proportion. Okay, and you already know about multiple proportion, that is means if two elements form two or more than two compounds, so then the masses of the one element which combine with a fixed mass of the other. So here says simple whole number ratio. Example, weight of oxygen that combined with 12 gram of carbon in a CO and CO2 are in the ratio of 1:2. So see, this is the question. Carbon and oxygen are known to form two compounds. So carbon contain in one of these compounds 42.9%, while in another 27.3%. So show that this data is in the agreement with the law of multiple proportion. So see this answer. See its answer. So see its solution. Compound 1, given mass of the compound is 42.9 gram. Okay, and compound second, mass of the carbon given 27.3 gram. Clear? So to mass of the oxygen, so we have to let mass of the oxygen 100. So mass of the oxygen 100 minus 42.9, because total mass is 100. So mass of the oxygen 100 minus 42.9 grams, so 57.1. and here compound second, similar way, mass of the oxygen, so 100 minus 27.3, so 72.7 gram. Okay, then after mass of the carbon which combined with 57.1 gram of oxygen, 42.9 gram, and here mass of the carbon which combined with 72.7 gram of oxygen, 27.3 gram. So carbon 42.9 gram and oxygen 57.1 gram. Here 27.3 gram carbon mass and then oxygen mass 72.7 gram. So mass of the carbon which combined with 1.0 gram of oxygen, so 42.9 gram of oxygen divided by 57.1 carbon. Okay, so 0.75 gram in compound first. Clear? Then mass of the carbon combined with 1.0 gram of oxygen, so 27.3 gram of oxygen divided by 72.7 gram oxygen, 27.3 gram carbon, and then 72.7 gram oxygen, mass of the oxygen, and then divide, so 0.375 gram in compound second. So compound first have 0.75 gram and then compound second 0.375 gram. So both the ratio, so the ratio of the carbon combined with the fixed mass of the oxygen is 0.75 ratio 0.375, or divide, so 2:1. So this is the simple ratio. So therefore explain law of multiple proportion. Okay, so therefore it's explain law of multiple proportion. Clear? Got it? So next topic I will be explain in next video. Thank you so much.